Hello guys, Gaslands here, and today I'm going to continue my class review slash comparison series with Blood Death Knight. Why Blood Death Knight? Because this class holds a special place in my heart. It was basically the reason why sorry. It was basically the reason why I started playing this game. And holy hell. And why the fuck do I have this up? This is not the transmogged ones. I wanna have my slot mog. Yeah, this. Because when I've seen WoW for the first time, it was at my friend's house, and he was making a Death Knight, and he was doing the starting zone, and he showed me this spell, Death Grip, and that fucking sold me to this game. So let's get into it. Death Knight takes a shit ton of damage and heals for even bigger shit ton of damage. It's that insane playstyle that makes you like just solo the last 20% of the boss when everyone is dead, and you are just like, fuck this, I can overheal that. Just don't worry, we are okay, this is dead. And then you just like wipe at the 0.5% because you miscount on the duration of Icebound Fortitude. Not that it would ever happen to me. So, let's get into it. The core of Death Knight is that you keep this dot up, it's called Blood Plague, and that heals you for some damage it deals. This is the must do. You have two options to apply this dot, and it's either with the Death Cares, whatever the fuck it's read, and this deals some damage, but not much damage, and applies Blood Plague to the target. It's pretty good when you need to do a ranged pull, but then when you do ranged pulls like this, well, definitely you don't do that on Legion. And the other option to apply this dot is through the Blood Boil, which, unlike Death Cares, doesn't cost any rune. It deals damage, it deals even more damage, applies the same dot. If I'm not mistaken, yes, it's literally the same dot, and it has two charges. Blop, blop. Okay. Then you have one damage reduction debuff that you keep on yourself, and that's called Blood Shield. It's applied through the spell called Morrowind. And the Bone Shield reduces the damage taken by 16%. It has charges, the charges are consumed when it reduces the damage. And it also increases your haste, and the haste is pretty handy for Blood Death Knight because it increases the reduction of the... It increases the... not reduction, it fuck me today, this is... What the fuck am I kidding? It reduces the cooldown of your runes, that's what I wanted to say. So you spend more runes on either Morrowind or Hard Strike, which is just like a spammable thing that generates a shit ton of runic power and some aggro, and thanks to some traits in your artifact weapon, and god kill me, I am not sure what trait it is. Maybe this one? Yeah. It also heals you. So it's pretty handy. Okay, yeah. Runic Power Spender, Death Strike, the core play of the core mechanic of Death Knight. This is a spell that heals you for 20% of all damage taken in the last 5 seconds, which allows for some insane plays. And like, when you timed it correctly, you don't need healer, especially because what Death Strike does, thanks to your mastery, Blood Shield, and that gives you an absorption for some percent of the base amount healed by the Death Strike, and it's only a physical absorption, but when you think about it, bosses hit, like the problem with bosses is that they hit by basic attacks so fucking hard, and I can stop looking on the blood pass. Fuck me. And like you take a crazy hit hard, like when you are, let's say, on Kill Jaden and you have 5 stacks of the Fell Claws and you get a fucking insane hit. You are like somewhere here with your health, and then you just death strike to full health, and then you don't have to give a fuck when you're also getting the big Armageddon. Easy. So this is basically like the basic rotation of Death Knight. Then you have also the Artifact Ability Consumption, which is a like jumping, cleaving spell that heals you for a ton of healing, and yeah, also gives that little 20% leech aura increase to 5 people, like you and 4 others people, which is pretty handy in Mythic Plus. And you have also the probably most flavor spell of Death Knight, or the second most, called Death and Decay, which looks like this. It deals some damage, it increases your runic power regeneration when you stand in it, and most importantly, it also thanks the talent Fierce periodically. And once more, this is a fucking must-have in Mythic Plus. The Death Knights have also a variety of defensive cooldowns. Of course, I spoke about Bone Shield, but that's like a 100% uptime. But Icebound Fortitude, immunity to stuns, and 30% damage taken reduction. Pretty badass. Dancing Rune Weapon. It increases your parry chance and summons basically like in base 1, but thanks to artifact, it summons, if I'm not mistaken, 2 additional like dancing weapons. And just fuck me, I don't know, this is unending first, this is a Bone Shield, this is that eat, I think it was a Mouth of Hell? Yeah! Dancing weapon summons a second copy of Maw of the Damned. That's like, what the fuck? Then that means that you are putting like 3 blood plagues out, and you also like generate 10 bone shields with 1 Marrow Rend, and this is an insane opener. Then like the other, like the fuck, what the fuck am I kidding? This day is fucking insane. And my parents are going nuts. Fuck off. Another defensive cooldown is Vampiric Blood that increases your health by 50% and increases all healing you take, and also increases the absorptions you make by 50%. So you pop up this little thingy, you pop up that strike, and you don't have to give a fuck for like God knows how long, because you gain 50% increased healing from the strike, and you gain that absorption, and that absorption is increased by additional 50%. Fucking insane. And to complete the cooldowns of Blood at Night, Anti-Magic Shell. This is a pretty solid anti-magic cooldown, which allows you to basically soak everything magic, especially when you compensate it with Vampiric Blood. And there should be one talent, I'm not sure if I have it taken, and God kill me, I have no fucking idea what. Yeah, this talent, which also makes anti-magic shell to increase your health by 25%. In that case, you are just fucking immortal at any magical damage taken. And of course, like the utility tools that Death Knight brings, Death Grip, already spoken about. Mass Death Grip. That means that you basically grip everything on a target where you cast it on. I'm not sure if it's going to at least do the animation thingy. No, it's not. But it surprisingly broke me Cephos. That's good. Gorfin's Grasp and the Stun. Okay, Now let's go into talents, because this is where things get really interesting. Row 56, Bloodworms. It summons your little thingy, sluggy friends that slightly attack the target, and after 15 seconds or when you drop below 50% health, they heal you for 15% of your missing health. The thing why Bloodworms kinda suck is that they heal only you. Previously, especially when I fell in love with Death Knight and that was early Cataclysm, those cans healed everyone. That means that get a pair of Blood Death Knights as your tank combo and you don't need healers. But right now it heals only you and you have no control over it, so I don't like this. Maybe some play it, but I really don't like it. Heartbreaker. Heart Strike generates additional 2 runic power per hit. Well, this might be good, but it pales with Blood Drinker. And I'm going to drink a coffee. It was like a cheer to Blood Drinker, because this spell is fucking awesome. It heals you for 1.4 million health. It deals 1.4 million damage. And you can move, parry, dodge and use any defensive abilities while you cast this ability. Glorious! Row 57. Rapid Decomposition. Your death and decay deals damage 15% more often, which means it increases damage of death and decay by 15%, but not in the absolute hits, but in the speed it deals the damage. And when you stand in death and decay, you generate more runic power. Some people say this is a go-to. I personally prefer Spectral Reflection, but I will talk about it in a second. Heart of Ice. Death Strike extends the duration of Icebound Fortitude by 2 seconds, which means that this is handy on fights where you know you will be taking a hard amount of tank damage, like Kill Jairen I spoke about previously, and you basically pop out this 8-second defensive, and then you just do 2 or 3 death strikes and it's already 15 seconds defensive, and you just don't give a fuck about what's going on. And then Spectral Deflection. This thing I prefer because I don't have that good equip and I was so unlucky can't drop any good legendaries that this is like my must-have. Whenever I take an insanely strong hit, like a hit that deals more than 25% of my maximum health, it consumes additional charge of Bone Shield, which means that it will not be reduced by 16%, but, and now my math skills don't fail me, but 32%. Glorious! Row 58! Ossuary. While you have at least 5 charges of Bone Shield, that strike's cost is reduced and it also increases your maximum runic power. Pretty good. Blood Tap. It generates 1 rune. This may be good sometimes, but with comparison to Ossuary and Anti-Magic Barrier, it just falls off. If this was the baseline, it would be a glorious spell, but as it is a talent and on a row with these 2 drop the bomb things, oh, not that good. And Anti-Magic Barrier, I've spoken about it previously, it makes Anti-Magic Shield increase your maximum health. Pretty good. Okay, row 60, Mark of the Blood. Makes your auto attacks heal for 3% of the victim's health. Which, wait a fucking... What? It didn't used to work like this before. I should fucking try it, because imagine you put this on Argus. Like 1 auto attack heals you for like a wall health? What the fuck? This is broken. I thought it used to heal you for your health. Okay, this is worth of testing. Then red first. Whenever you spend runic power, it reduces the cooldown of vampiric blood, which is also fucking handy because it allows you to have a pretty solid uptime of vampiric blood. And talent called Tombstone, which consumes 5 charges on bone shield, and it gives you a shield equal of 6% of your health per charges consumed, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for each charge consumed you gain 6 runic power and 6% of health as absorption. Which basically means that you get 30% of your health as absorption. This might be good, but it consumes the bone shield charges and I don't like that clunky play of it. Row 75, Titan Grasp reduces cooldown of Mass Grip and makes that indicate slow, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and it slows by 70%, which means it's pretty good on kiting. And I fucking wish I had this thing when we are progressing Maloriak. Because that was a shit show. But I prefer to take Travel Before Me because it's another form of passive CC, and I've already spoken about it. It gives a passive fear to that NDK, and March of the Damned. It makes Red Walk to break stuns, roots, and also increases its duration. Row 90, Wall of Necropolis. It used to be my favorite talent, but it's rendered not that good in comparing to Foul Bulwark. Whenever you draw below 35% health, you take 35% less damage. Pretty handy. But not in a world of overhealing, where basically no Resto Druid or Holy Pala or Priest or Monk or anything else will allow you to drop below 35% health to make this actually work. Rune Tap. Consumes a rune, it goes 1 rune, to reduce the damage you take by 40% for seconds. It's pretty handy when you know you will have to do some soaking once in a while, and you basically pop this up, 3 seconds you take 40% less damage. Combine it with Vampiric Blood and fuck, you are once more immortal. On Foul Bulwark, each house of bone shields increases the maximum health by 2%. Just by the way, if I have not mentioned it previously, which I bet I didn't, Blooded Knight has an insane synergy with Pridus. When you timed it correctly and you get 10 stacks of bone shield, anti-magic barrier talent, which means you pop up this, and we pop up Vampiric Blood, you can proc Pridus for the amount of your basic health or even more. I've seen my friend popping up like 12 million Pridus and like, what the fuck? But he also had a pretty big charges of, and just like, fuck, it's this? Yeah. He managed to stack pretty well this thing. He had 30% increased health from artifact, and then he was a fucking beast. And I don't want this, I want to put my talents up. And now let's talk about row 100. Like, Purgatory. If there is something that makes you literally immortal, it's Purgatory plus Paladin. Whenever you take fatal damage, it doesn't kill you, it puts an absorb on you, or healing absorb on you for 3 seconds, and you have 3 seconds to overheal it, and if you don't overheal it, you are dead. Which means, you get yourself a Paladin, with Lay on Hands, you make Purgatory proc, you pop Vampiric Blood, Death Strike, and you get a Lay on Hands, and you are once more overhealed to Purgatory and on full health. It's glorious when you have to soak some shit. Then we have Bone Storm, which is a runic power consumer, and it makes you deal some damage around you, and you are healed for the damage, and it's also pretty good. Especially when you have AoE fights and deals a shit ton of damage, and this is one of the things that allows Blooded Knight to go into 4.5 million DPS on some small pack of ads. And Blood Mirror. The thing I wanted to play in the first time I got my Blooded Knight level 100, and it was fucking useless because I didn't have enough gear and I was getting fucking smashed. It makes 20% of the damage you take to go to the enemy. You may think like 20% reduction, pretty handy. But that's why I was dying, because well, I didn't have enough gear to survive, so I needed a fucking purgatory. Okay, but now when we have talked about the talents and the spells, and I wanna get this thing here. Let's take a look on how this thing tanks. And this is training. This is also like, where is the Raider's tanking dummy? Don't tell me that there is not a Raider's tanking dummy. Training. So I probably only normal tank dummy that tests this out, and if it will go just like the Demon Hunter testing went, then this is going to fucking suck. But let's get into it. So, opening looks like this. You pop up Dancing Weapon, Blood Boil, Morrowind, Blood Boil, Blood Drinker, and you are fucking god. Blood Drinker, Morrowind, Blood Boil, and Blood Drinker. And you can see like we are 1 million DPS for a fucking tank. Then we do just some death striking. And I may also just like do consumption for some healing and damage. And we can actually also look on how this thing heals, and I will have to go to overhealing. Or maybe not. Well, yeah, it is healing and overhealing. Healing taken is not. Enemy healing done, enemy healing taken, runic power gained, threat. Fuck this. We are currently healing for like 50%, like 56k HPS, because this dummy doesn't do more damage. As you can see, I've even like let the Morrowind or the Bone Shield fall down. It does basically nothing. As you can see, like the Bone Shield absorb that we are getting is making us kinda immortal. Oh, man, these dummies are so fucking boring. Actually, I have an idea. As you can see, I have joined the fucking LFR. Yes, I have joined the LFR to show out how Death Knight plays in a fucking raid. Because the dummies are boring as fuck, so I am going to start off a ready check. Oh, maybe I've turned off the recording way too soon. So this is probably going to include some cuts into the interesting part, because I'm not going to make this 10 minutes longer just by the like the guide of Blooded Knight for Argus the Animaker, because like this is going to be outdated. Maybe in the time I put out this video, because beta is currently not working properly, so it doesn't allow me to copy my characters and to play them on the servers I wanna play them. So come the fuck on! Oh my goodness, like, LFR is a shit show. I'm going to put my threat meter out, the healing meter, because reasons, because fun, because whoa, I wanna see how far I can actually go. Or not, because this guy seems to be knowing his shit, and I have completely missed that first part. Come on, Argus! You don't do any damage at all as well! Come the fuck on, boy. Do something to me. Deal some damage, you can't. Well, I feel that Unmaker will do something and not just like slug around. Come on. Are we pulling him to corner? No, I guess that we are not. Or we are? I don't know, man. This LFR is just like weird fucking shit. To refresh my own shield charges. I was like, come the fuck on, you idiot! I wanna see how hard this hits! Right now, it doesn't heal or doesn't do any damage at all because like the Rune of Agromar is just a fucking broken thing. Finally something that hits, at least slightly. I had to put up a cooldown because because it hits. Wow! And because I kinda forgot to refresh my bone shield in time. Pop up Cephus. And it all. Raiders. Arise, champions! Fight to save your world! Gig discount. Okay, I'm going to steal a Ragro. Hit me, baby, hit me, hit me, hit me, hit me harder, come on, harder! And that fucktard does his job? What is this? I thought I'm in LFR, where no one does their jobs. Okay, how many stacks does he have? 4. I'm going to take this. Time to take things in my own hands. I actually think that might be a good idea to soak some of these. Oh, like 1 million damage every 2 seconds. It should be doing something. Oh yes! Finally some damage. Welcome to LFR, guys. Where nothing hits and people still manage to fail. But I finally managed to show how Blooded Knight heals. Wow! Whoa! So, yes, the cinematic is badass, but I've seen it enough times. Nothing at all. As usual. Okay, so let's move into our Blooded Knight's place in the BfA. So, wait, where did they added this? Oh, whatever. So, my quiz testing showed up that well, this dummy can beat you, and beats you pretty hard. With the removal of our artifact weapon, we've got also slightly reworked talents, but before I get into talents, let's get like a look on the baseline. Death Grip still doing the same, Hard Strike still doing the same, Death Strike still doing the same, Blood Boil still doing the same, Marauder still doing the same, Death Scar still doing the same, Icebone's Fortitude still doing the same, and Vampiric Blood still doing the same! And of course that NDK still doing the same. But we've got Wraithwolk removed as a baseline, and it was replaced by the Death Advance, which is basically what Wraithwolk used to be. It increases your movement speed by 30% for 8 seconds. You run like a fucking mouse on crack. And then when you talent yourself into Wraithwolk, when Death Advance ends, you do this, and you just flow around. And I think that eventually this change was pretty helpful for Blood Knight mobility, which is the one concern that I have seen when the removal of Wraithwolk was announced, that Death Knights in general started to cry, and mostly Blood Knights, because like Blood Knight's mobility is a great issue, and always was, because of the fantasy that you are that slowly moving dead warrior who just doesn't give a fuck. Yeah, but with the baselines basically checked, and then of course like you can see it on my action bar, but Gorfin's Grasp is still here, and of course Identical Weapon still here, still doing the same, and it does not benefit from that trait I have spoken about previously. With that checked, talents. Hullbreaker still doing pretty much the same, Blood Drinker still doing pretty much the same, and Rune Strike, the ability I have fond memories of from Cataclysm, makes its comeback. It's not that insane threat generator that makes you basically able to go AFK, but right now it's a strike that deals blah 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 physical damage, and it generates 1 rune, and its cooldown, which is 1 minute, or basically it's better to say recharge time, is reduced by 1 second for every rune you spend. So this is pretty handy, and I think that in long running fights and the late game this will see a shit ton of play. Blood Drinker is still that good thing, but I honestly think that the Heartbreaker will beat all of these 2 talents, because I think that Blizzard nerfed the runic power generation, as we can test here at Dungeoneer Training Dummy. It's just like it's generating far slower. I had to do 3 Marrow Rants to be able to cast Death Strike, yeah? Like now I have to go up again and again. Yep, it's like it's slightly a meh kind of thing that the runic power generation was that lowered, but we will have to see. Row 57, Rapid Decomposition, still doing pretty much the same as it does on Legion. Consumption was made into a talent, and Homeostasis is the effect of Legendary. I think it was Shoulderous, that Blood Boil, whenever you cast it Blood Boil, it increases the healing of Death Strike. So now it's a talent, we are not going to lose this. And of course Consumption made into a talent, so we are not going to lose this sweet cleavy thingy, which is of course dodged by this fucking dummy, because it's all of a sudden 122. I'm going to... Of course I cannot change the talent yet, but I'm going to go with Homeostasis. Row 58, Foul Bulwark. I think it was lower, it used to be 2%, but it still increases your maximum health by some percentage. Ossuary, still doing pretty much the same, but as it was moved on the row with the foul bulwark, who knows how it's gonna play out. And Tombstone, still doing pretty much the same, it was not changed at all. Row 60, Will of the Necropolis, still doing pretty much the same as it does on Legion. Anti-magic barrier, it was reworked. It reduces the cooldown of anti-magic shell and increases the amount it absorbs. So it's even more handy on the anti-magic fights. But it lost that effect on the non-anti-magic fights. So I think that on this row, either the Will of Necropolis or Rune Tap, which still does pretty much the same, but it was slightly nerfed because it used to reduce for 40%, now it does on 30%. Row 75, Grip of the Dead, which is basically a root of the targets in Death and Decay. I said basically because it lowered movement speed by 90% and then it decays by 10% every second. So yeah. Tightening Grasp does pretty much the same as it does on Legion. It reduces Mass Grip's cooldown. And Great Walk, this is probably going to be the go-to whenever you have to move, because then you are like a mouse on a crack. Row 90. Voracious? I forget how to read it, but it's one of the artifact traits moved into a talent. Death Strike gives you 15% leech for 6 seconds, and just wait if I can find it. I think it's this one? No. This one? No, I'm not going to find it, but know that it was one of those artifact traits. No, not talents. Bloodworms! Still doing the same, still that kinda uncontrollable. But yeah. And Mark of the Blood still working the same, but instead of 3% of victims maximum health, it heals for 2% of victims maximum health. And just wait a second, how much does this count have? 4.5 million? Should be fun. Row 100, Purgatory, still doing the same. Bone Storm, still doing the same. And Red First, still doing the same. Only it moved into the row 100 tier of talents. So let's take a look on how this thing will work. Okay, let's begin. We are prepared for whatever the dummy can throw at us. Stacking up homeostasis. I wanna get one more stack. And we are running low on the runic power. Come on, you can do better, Castland. Now why the fuck did it evade it? Now, go for the Mark of the Blood. So, show me how it works. Come on, you can't. Like, we are really bad on haste now. The Bliss might have really, like, decided to fuck up any haste-like mechanics. And so we are now in that QQ slowy thingy play, and I'm afraid that many classes will not work. But like Shadow Priest, for example, because Shadow Priest is just one big fuck up. But I'm now talking about a Death Knight, so... Whoop! Oh, I'm gonna die, and I don't wanna die. I'm too young and too much undead to die. Come on! Come on! Yes! Haha. But I guess that it is over. I really struggle to put out enough runic power generation to heal myself enough. But let's take a look on the Azurite rates, if there isn't any kind of increase in that. Which one is for Blood Death Knight? This one. That's a cool weapon that grants you strength for each rune you spend. And each rune you spend increases its duration by 0.5 seconds up to a maximum of 5 seconds. Okay, this one looks pretty cool. This strike heals for an additional blah 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 for each remaining charge of bone shield. This is also pretty good. What is this? Okay. This is pretty good also. When vampiric blood expires, your leeches increase by blah 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 for 10 seconds. The Blood at Night traits looks pretty good, like for a tank. And Malorand has a chance to grant an extra charge of bone shield. Like, bone shield increases your armor. Like, really, I think that. Wait, bone shield increases armor? It increases armor! Holy fuck! No, wait. Okay. Wait, how much does my armor currently reduce the physical damage taken? By 37 point... by 37.67%. If I somehow manage to hit... It's like a 12% increased damage reduction, down from 16% or 36 when it was, or 32 when it was really big hit. So yeah. So that's it, and that's probably also why I was taking that big ton of damage with that thing, with the vengeance, because of this change. Well, okay. But in overall, I think that Blood at Night doesn't change that much. It definitely has better mobility options, and it keeps that core type of play, but currently, without the Azerite traits being equipped and with the haste being reduced, it feels very slow and kinda more glass cannon-like. It definitely brings back the old planning ahead system, when you have to communicate with your healers, and when they have mana and when you don't have anything to spend, so they will have to overheal you to keep you alive. But then there will be those moments where you are prepared for that huge hit and you will just like be fuck off, I am gonna live. Definitely Blood at Night is not bad, and I'm probably gonna play it as my tanking alt, because I like it far more than I like the Vengeance Demon Hunter. But I think that a slight increased runic power generation could be really good, or slight increased haste provided by either Bone Shield or the basic scaling of haste. But that's something I will probably have to tell Blizzard in a forum post, and they will have to do it in the balancing of the class. And like, yeah, that's probably all I wanted to say to you. So if you have liked my rumble about Blood at Night, then give this video a like. If you have disliked my rumble about Blood at Night, then give this video a dislike. And use the comment section down below to tell me what you did not like, and what do you think about Blood at Night, how it stands, and will you gonna play it or will you not gonna play it? Then, if you are interested in seeing my other rumbles about the classes I play, and some lore tinfoil and some storytelling, then feel free to check out my channel, because there is definitely what we are gonna find something more. And if you will be interested in what you find, and you are gonna you will want some to know about my new work and more work, then feel free to subscribe to this channel and hit that notification bell, because that's how you get notified when I put out a new video. And yep, with that, yeah. If you have liked me so much that you would like to somehow support me, then feel free to share this video, any of my other videos, or my link to my channel, because that would help me a lot. Just spread the word that I exist and I'm trying to look clever and skillful, and I completely fail at it 100% of the time. Then, if you have disliked me so much that you would like to ruin my life, then take a link to my video or any of my other videos or to my channel and share it on your Facebook, Twitter, Discord, or maybe even on your YouTube channel, and say something like, "Hey guys, come and let's hate this fucker, he's a fucking idiot, and destroy his life, and just do it." Because as I said previously, I am kinda running out of my toxic ways, and I'm starting to repeat myself, and I wanna see new levels of toxicity. And with that, I'm going to thank you for watching, so thank you for watching. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you somewhere in the future, guys. Bye bye.